Hello, welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
So Joanne, what should we cover tonight?
Well, I thought maybe we could talk about 1099s, what you need to do to generate the reports.
Okay, it's a good topic. We can open up the supplier setup first. We'll go through that. A couple options in there that will pertain, okay?
Let's take a look.
All right, so we'll open up File Maintenance Shop Standards. Underneath Suppliers, and I've got a supplier that we can look at here. So if I drop down to my Unisource, I'll just edit. There's a couple of fields here I'll point out. Down on the lower left-hand side here, first of all, there's an option that needs to be turned on. This is sort of the on-off switch that requires a 1099. So you need to have this selected so that when you do ultimately print out the report, this vendor's included.
Okay, great.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you need to tell the report where the amount needs to print, under what box. And it looks at the federal form.
Okay.
So, there's different box numbers. I think most of the key ones seem to be 1, 4, 7, something like that.
Okay.
So whatever it is, if it's rent, royalties, miscellaneous, you just indicate the box number here, and that puts the amount in the right spot in the form.
Okay, great.
Okay. The other thing on the supplier specifically that would print out would be the tax ID number. All right, so this would be your vendor's tax ID number. You can just pop this right in here. That's another piece of data that will print out on the report. And then lastly, in your company setup, so if I go under the company information, you've got a spot here to put your tax ID number, and that also will print out on the report.
Okay, great.
So those few things there.
Can we take a look at what that report looks like when you print it?
Absolutely.
And where you print it from?
Sure. Okay. So you're going to print it from accounts payable. Okay. It's in the reports menu just like all the other AP reports. So we do have a 1099 report here. We can select it. You'll choose the year to print. Okay. Now, for anybody that's not going off a strict calendar year for their fiscal year setup, this is going to go off a calendar year.
Okay.
So if you select 2016, it's looking at specifically 2016. So if your fiscal year is, April to March, you just need to keep that in mind.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to choose 2015. I could select a vendor in here, or I can leave it blank, pull everybody. There's also an option here to print it 2 up, if you want to see the same supplier twice on the same form.
Okay.
Okay. Print. Okay, so this is how it will look here. So again, because I had this supplier set for box number 4, it put the amount over here. So this will shift. There's a few different fields in here lining up for the specific spot on the form of where the amount is.
Okay, great.
Okay. Your company address up on the top. Your company's tax ID number in here. Your supplier's tax number in here. And then the address information.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Now that amount that shows up, can you explain exactly where that comes from? Does it come from the invoice? Does it come from the payment?
Sure, it'll come right from the payments. So
Okay.
whatever payments you make, whatever year you select, whether you do it as payments against invoices, whether you do it even as quick payments where there is no invoice, it'll all be included. So any payment checks that you write for this vendor will be included.
Okay, great.
Okay. And again, the form is set to match the federal form. So all of this is designed, to match the federal form. So you could print it, 2 up and get, 2 on the sheet here. So.
Awesome. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Nope, that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. This was another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
Please look forward for more to come.